Okay guys, we just got through pulling our second trawl in, and we're going to see what we got here. Looks like we got a little flounder. It's probably a bay whiff flounder. It's hard to tell, he's so small. Okay, we got another little flounder here. This is a bay whiff flounder. Flatfish. If you notice, this is the dorsal side. You can see his eyes there on the dorsal side. If we turn him over, this is the ventral side. What's really cool about flatfish like this is when they are in their juvenile state, they're like regular fish. They swim like a regular fish, and then after a few weeks they flatten out and one eye will migrate from the ventral side to the dorsal side, and then they start living on the very bottom where they will burrow in sand or mud and make their living there. A lot of different kind of flatfish down here. Here's a nice lizard fish. This is an inshore lizard fish. If you remember on the last trawl we got a small one, and this is the same thing. Show you something. Look at these teeth on this guy. Notice I'm wearing gloves, but these can scratch you. They're not poisonous, but they can scratch you, and we try to make sure measures that we don't get scratched because they can get infected. If we just kind of do a scan of our box here, we can see we got a lot more shrimp this time. We were shrimping up Bon Secours, kind of where the entrance of Bon Secours Bay is. So we had access to a lot more shrimp this time. Here we go. Got something here a little bit different. This is a sea bass. Look at his eyes. These don't get very big. They live in a muddy or sandy area. And it's not actually a fish that gets any bigger than this. And it's called a sea bass. And isn't he pretty?
So, Dr. Simpson, so I was under the impression that when you go shrimp trawling, you're pretty much just getting shrimp, but that's not the case at all.
Not ever the case. You'll always get bycatch, we call it, and different kind of fish, different kind of crabs, arthropods, the whole variety of different kind of marine life. And most of what we're getting today is what we've gotten before, except it looks like we have a lot more brown shrimp. So let's keep looking to see what we've got here. Got a root fish. I'm just kidding. This is nothing. It's just a root. Looks like we got the head of a catfish. Something interesting about catfish is the backbone of a catfish, a saltwater catfish, is what makes the crucifix fish. You may have heard of the crucifix fish. It's the backbone of a catfish, and it looks like the cross that Jesus was crucified on. So here we go. We got a big old blue crab. I'm taking caution. She is alive. I know she's a she because this is the carapace. The outer shell of the blue crab is called the carapace. The inside on the ventral side, this is the telson, this round part here. And if it's a round part like that, it's a female. If it looks like a golf tee or a pencil, it's a male. So we'll get plenty of these when our students are down here with us, pulling seines and doing these kind of things. We won't be trawling, but we'll be pulling a net that's somewhat like a trawl, so we can collect these kind of specimens. I'm gonna go ahead and put her back in, guys. There you go. Swim away. So another lizard fish. We're gonna keep these for our specimen collections. These flatfish and lizard fish. We've got croaker, another spot. Remember the spots? Actually, this is the croaker. Croaker. This is a spot. Again, look at the difference in the two. They're both croakers, but the species is different. These are fish that have large air bladders, and they make that croaking sound when they come out of the water. So we'll keep them. So here's a pretty big croaker right here. Actually, we heard him croaking coming in. But let's see if we got anything different in here. I say, here we go. This is a little speckled trout. This is a game fish. Down here they get up to about 5 pounds and a little larger than that, but they're very good eating, and it's in the trout family. There are different kinds of trout down here, and this is one of them, speckled trout. Okay. I'm going to call this one a scale sardine. A scale sardine. They're very much alike, the threadfin herons and the scale sardines. Alright, let's look at it. Here we go. Usually we don't get these out to sea, but this is a little bay anchovy. I can't get his mouth open. If I could, you would see a huge mouth on this little guy. And they have a huge mouth because they are plankton eaters. And same thing that the largest fish in the ocean eats, which is a whale shark. It's pretty amazing, but plankton is so important in our oceans, and because it produces oxygen and provides food for things as small as this bay anchovy and as large as the largest fish in the ocean, the whale shark. Okay, I'm gonna let this guy go. He's almost gone anyway. Here's a squid, or what's left of a squid, an Atlantic squid. Yep, he's pretty much intact there. Okay, you can see his fins, you can see his eye, you can see his tentacles. Actually, squids are in the mollusk. Look at the chromatophores. Can you see them changing color there? They're blinking on and off. It's pretty cool, isn't it? The purpose of that, of course, is kind of provide some change of color. It makes them harder to see in the water. So it's kind of a defensive mechanism. But this guy right here is a cephalopod, and they do have shells. They're like a mollusk. They are considered a mollusk, but they have an internal shell. And that internal shell is called a pin. And it's hard to get out. If I had more time and I didn't have these big muddy gloves on, I would get the pin out and show you. But typically we get one on our field trips. And when we do, I show you all the general and the anatomical parts of him. So, and also the pin will pull him out. So we might keep him to put in our collection. All right, let's see if we got anything different. This right here is a white trout. A white trout. These get caught down here. Sometimes they're called. They have different names. The thing about all of these fish down here, they have a lot of common names and a lot of different common names. So what I call ground mullet, some people might call a white trout. These are, folks love to catch these on the beach. They're very good at eating, and they don't get very big. White trout. All right, y'all see anything different in here? Another speckled trout right here. Of course, we got a lot of brown shrimp. Another. Y'all remember what that is? Okay, you're not answering, so I'm going to tell you. Lizard fish. That's funny, isn't it? So we got all these here. We got another menhaden. If you remember from our last conversation, these are responsible for a large industry, cat food and dog food. And even a base for oils. The oil that's used, base for perfumes. And we got a lot of ctenophores in here. Remember me talking about the ctenophores? You can see the comb, the lines of cilia here, and all of these are brown shrimp. So we got enough shrimp here to have for Mr. Tim to have either a shrimp fry or fry up some shrimps, or maybe get a gumbo or something like that. And we're all going to go over here and visit him when y'all get here. So we did good today. I hope you know the basics now of trawling and shrimping, and we've probably identified about more than a dozen, maybe 2 dozen different kind of species of fish. And you will be doing some of this when you come down here, except we won't be trawling, but we'll be using a net that we call a seine. And most of these specimens that we got trawling today, except this many shrimp, you will be getting with a seine. Can't wait to see you. Can't wait to get you down here to do these things. And this is Dr. J signing out.